Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
Welcome, everybody, back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. I'm your host, Andy Burrows, and as you can see or hear, I'm joined by my illustrious co-host and tag team partner, Mr. Adam Cousins. Ad, you got the guns out, mate. Looking a bit hench. You've been looking to go and join in the old WWE, taking CM Punk's place in AEW. What's going on here, bro?
I had to turn Tony Khan down, mate. You know,
yeah, too much
right?
Can't be getting involved in, but
bloody hot over here. You know, I know we're not that far away from each other, but Jesus, it's like
it's been roasting today, dude.
Yeah. But it's like it's only going to get hotter, and I have a bad habit of I've got this sweaty skin anyway.
Yeah.
So I may look like I'm probably going to be sweating profusely with this light in the background. But yeah, I got the guns out. I just want to show TK what he's missing, you know.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. Well, this is our Monday night review show. What did you make of this week's Raw, mate? Before we get into it, obviously Jey Uso is now on Monday Night Raw. He kicked off the show, coming out with a relatively good crowd reaction as well. I thought. What did you make to it, bro?
Thought the Raw was fine.
Yeah.
Didn't pull up a lot of trees, but it didn't. I mean, there was a couple of great matches on there, which we'll get into. But, I mean, it still leaves us with a few questions because if you listen to the Adam Pearce bit with Jey Uso later on in the evening, there's someone's still going to SmackDown. And he said at some point as well. So they didn't say this week. They said at some point.
Well, Cody's advertised for Raw next week, isn't he?
But I'm still thinking it's him.
That could be a little segue to him going
USA losing Cody as well.
I know, not exactly going to be the great. There was some good snippets on Raw. I like Michael Cole's comment about.
Oh, Cody's an EVP. He can get things done.
Yeah, Cody needs to be an EVP. He can get things done. I had a little chuckle to myself. I was like, I hope everyone got that. Yeah, I had a little chuckle to myself. But obviously Jey Uso kicked off Raw, basically said he was sick and tired of fighting with his family. So he's come over to be on his own on Monday Night Raw. And then bam, Sami Zayn's music hit. He comes out to the ring, says, look, he's pleased to see him. He's happy he's here. But unlike the rest of the locker room, they're not too pleased to see him. Yeah. What did you make of Sami coming out? They kind of restarted a little story that they've kind of had over on SmackDown when Sami left and he was trying to get Jey to leave. This is basically the end of that part of the story. If everyone remembers back during the SmackDown days, Sami Zayn was the one trying to get Jey to leave the bloodline week after week after he had done. So, I thought it was quite good how they finished that little bit off.
It was nice that WWE remembered the storyline. How many times do they just forget things happen? It was good. And it's good that the Raw roster don't like Jey either.
Yeah.
Because it's not like he's going to be welcomed with open arms. And it's really good how a lot of people have said, like Drew McIntyre mentioned later on in the show, that, well, if Jey Uso causes a problem, I'm going to be going direct to Cody. And maybe, well, you might not be, but depending on what happens. But I at least thought it was nice that they didn't try and pull the wool over our eyes and they've continued on the fact that nobody particularly likes him because of when he was in the bloodline.
Yeah, obviously at the end of the promo, they were walking back to the backstage area and my mate Riddle and Drew were coming out. A little stare down with Jey Uso, maybe Mcriddle. They might have been teasing a little something for
Kevin Owens was pulled at the last minute for an unknown reason at the moment. So
is that what it was? I wondered why it was. I just wasn't sure. It's got to be he's got to be injured. Surely that fucking bump.
It's got to be an injury. I mean,
his neck. Like I said on the review show, Payback, it looked like he landed on his neck. So maybe that was it. I don't know. But what did you make of them teasing a little bit of Drew and Matt Riddle with Jey Uso?
Made sense. Again, look who's the two people that feuded a lot with him when they were kind of sort of on both brands, really, wasn't they? At some point, Riddle was doing stuff on SmackDown. McIntyre was Clash at the Castles. It was a year ago to the day since the debut of Solo, and Jey wasn't there, but he was still involved in the bloodline. So made perfect sense. And again, I'm just glad about that they've done that instead of Jey's here on Raw. Yay. It was like more like, oh, great. So good.
How are you booking Jey on Raw moving forward? What are you doing with him? So, to argument's sake, we'll say Cody goes to SmackDown, just for argument's sake. He's there next week, but for argument's sake, you're probably I'm 99% sure you're right that Cody is going to be the pick that goes to SmackDown, which you get to later. But take Cody out of it. What are you doing with Jey Uso on Raw?
I think that he may cause Kevin and Sammy to break up.
Okay.
In the end, I don't know. I mean, we don't even know what's wrong with Kevin Owens at the minute, so we can only assume that it's injury. But I think, I don't know, maybe McIntyre seems a good bet first. I mean, I know McIntyre's a face, but he's been touted for a heel run. I thought that Jey Uso was going to turn actually during that promo and super kick Sammy, but he didn't. Maybe they're saving that and they'll do that later. But I don't know, it's a weird one with Jey because he's super talented and they've got a title which is on there. All the titles are on there all the time. So Intercontinental with Gunter, he's got. Well, we'll talk about that later. Or potentially Gunther could be Gable, but we'll talk about that. And the options are open with him, so I'm kind of intrigued to see what they do with it, and it makes you want to watch it because you want to find out what his first feud's going to be. And next week's telling when Cody's back anyway, because Jey Uso attacked Cody next week,
or he teamed with him,
and then attack him.
Yeah, something like that. I reckon he could. Could team with him. You know, that's good shout. We had a really good match actually. Don't think I'd say this about Mcriddle against the Viking Raiders tornado tag. Really good match. You can kind of see where they're going with this storyline. Obviously, Kofi coming out, and obviously Drew done it last week where he threw a chair at it and it hit Xavier Woods. This week, Kofi comes out, tries to hit his finisher and knocks Riddle spark out and ends up the Viking Raiders putting my mate Riddle through a table and getting the 1-2-3. I thought it was a really good match, actually. Yeah. Really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid start to Monday Night Raw. And we can kind of now see where this is going. I'm guessing Viking Raiders versus Drew and Riddle versus the New Day. And I'm guessing this is where Drew's turn could come. Do you think? Yeah. Am I right?
I think so. I think we'd have to watch it now. So that's next week.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's next week's review. I'm not here next week. I'm not here on Monday. So yeah, we should just do the review now.
Yeah. It probably Fastlane, I would think. If you're going, potentially Fastlane. It's in a couple of weeks, right?
Fastlane is 2 weeks Saturday, I think.
2 weeks.
3 weeks Saturday. It's not much build. I think it's 3 weeks build, actually. I think it's 3 weeks Saturday. Something like that. I'm not sure. Something like that.
Tornado. What's the other one? It's not Tornado Tag. It's the other. What's the other one that they do? Turmoil. Tag Team Turmoil.
Yeah, where they're all. They just throw them all in. Yeah.
They get pinned. Drew goes mad. Or they're the final team. They lose to the New Day or something like that. Drew goes crazy. Claymores everyone. Walks off. And then
turns on Riddle when Randy Orton comes back to save the day.
I can't wait. I think they may be saving that for Rumble, to be honest.
Well, apparently they're saving CM Punk for the Rumble.
Well, not what I've just read, but
okay. What did you just read? Is he not coming?
If we're going to talk about it, no top talent want Punk in WWE, and the one company that have expressed interest and are excited about
Ignite.
Well, I haven't spoke to CJ. He did say to get on the phone to him about
I'm going to remortgage your house.
The one bill Phil. No, actually, it was Impact Wrestling.
I said that. What did I tweet the other day?
You did, and apparently
I said that would be perfect.
They're excited about it. So
I think they can. Someone tweeted me back. They can't afford him. They can't afford CM Punk. He'll never go to Impact. I'm a little stato in his fucking mum's basement tweeting us. Why wouldn't he go to Impact? If he wants to, the big question is, does CM Punk want to stay in the wrestling business? That's the question that needs answered. If he does and he wants to prove a point, then realistically, WWE is probably the only place he can go because he will have the most viewing. It'll be viewed more in WWE because obviously they've got a bigger, wider audience. Impact's quite hard to find. Not saying they're not doing good things, but if he wants to be seen and heard and make a point against what AEW done against him, then it needs to be seen in WWE. But yeah, if you're saying that, then no, they're not really interested. But then they do that though, then he could come out in the Rumble.
It's one of them, isn't it? It's like I think they had the other day that when he was interested in coming in 2023, they were going to book him in the Rumble, and then him and Owens were going to wrestle at the main event of wrestling.
I've seen something about that on Twitter. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it's all speculation. He's more. If he wants to go to WWE, I'm pretty sure they can work it out. But these issues with AEW are not exactly wouldn't exactly help. And it all depends, isn't it? I mean, does Triple H want him? That's the key.
Yeah, people that clip going around Twitter of him saying the conversation from last year, or I'll take the phone call. I'd never not take a phone call from anyone, and I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Time will tell.
Impact would be good. I'd like to see him on.
Oh, I love it.
It'd be amazing for them.
Very briefly.
Yeah,
he's still funny enough.
Imagine the viewing figures for Impact.
Oh, it'd be great to get him, even if it was a small run, little like 6-month thing or whatever. But
yeah, oh mate, Parker would get an Impact tattoo, everything. He'd be loving it. Bless him. Next up, we had Mr. Seth Rollins come out and cut a promo on good old Shinsuke Nakamura. Basically called him out, said they wants a championship match there and then, but it already had the backstage stuff where they're like, Seth, you can't compete. Your back is fucked, basically. Ricochet was there trying to convince him. It kind of seems that they're trying to segue. I know, of all people, I thought when I was watching that, I'm thinking of all the people you could maybe push into this little storyline here. I'm gonna guess it's gonna end up in a 3-way eventually. It's gonna be Seth and Ricochet and Shinsuke. And I think that's where Seth will win. And I think that's where I've said this, that's where the cash in will come in. I think the Judgment Day will have all the titles by Survivor Series. I think they'll have every single Raw titles. They'll have them all. Yeah, what did you make of the whole Seth and Shinsuke? It's good to see that Shinsuke's still in the mix because I do like this heel character. I'm hoping they keep him. Can you see them realistically putting the title in him for a little bit and then maybe a cash in or something like
that? No, unfortunately. But you're right. I do love this versus. There was no. It didn't make any sense. There was no storyline sense in Ricochet getting involved, which is why I was confused. Why, I know he was talking to Pierce at the point that Rollins sort of, whatever, he walked up or strutted up to him, whatever he was doing. So that didn't really make sense. They did show the attack that I mentioned on the review.
They did. I saw that. Yeah.
So that does hint. I still think it's going to be Rollins and Nakamura again. I don't know what match. They may do a match type potentially. I don't know. Some kind. I don't know what can they do.
Last man standing if his back's fucked. Last man standing if his back's gone.
And that will make sense then for the cash in.
Yeah.
Because the cash in's got to make sense. I kind of nearly expected it during Raw.
If you saw the backstage bit when Rhea Ripley was like, "Not now. I'm not. Now's the perfect time."
Yeah, but maybe could barely stand up. Yeah, but maybe last man standing makes sense, and then the cash in will happen.
Yeah, I think I've got some views on the Judgment Day and the whole JD McDonough thing, but we'll get to that. But yeah, then Shinsuke took on Ricochet in a match which ended up with Seth coming down, and it all ended up in a bit of a melee, and they had to be split up, and then Seth got an arse whooping. And yeah, what did you make of all that? I mean, it was all right. I mean, like you said, I was really confused why Ricochet was there. All the talent that you can maybe put in that little mix, Ricochet's not one I would have put in there.
No, he's not doing wrong. I like him, but I just don't get. I mean, I suppose Pierce maybe did say that he owed him a favor or some sort for the Logan Paul thing. So perhaps that's where they're going with it. I thought the match was okay. It didn't pull up any trees. I mean, that it wasn't. I wasn't there going, "Oh, this is good."
No, I think it was just set up for the running.
It kind of was going through the motions, really. And I think just before, it's one of those matches where just before it gets exciting, it finishes.
Yeah, I was kind of the whole match. I was kind of like, "Where's Seth? Hurry up! We all know what's coming. We've watched wrestling long enough to know that Seth's going to come down, and eventually he's going to get an arse whipping because his back's fucked."
Yeah.
So it was okay. It was okay. The Judgment Day were out next, cutting their promo in the ring, and good old JD McDonough comes down with a shiny new briefcase.
I thought it was the new belts because they were talking about.
Yeah, I wondered what was going on there. But here's my theory on this. Do you remember this is WWE recycling a storyline? They usually leave it a year, maybe 2 years. Do you remember when Sami Zayn was trying to get in the bloodline?
Yeah.
This is exactly the same storyline.
Oh, with Jey.
To a T. Take the briefcase out of it. This is exactly. Remember all the hits and all the blows that Sami took. He took spears from Edge. He took stunners from Kevin Owens. He took everything. WWE have basically gone and said, right, what we're going to do, we're going to redo that storyline, but we're going to do it with JD McDonough on Raw. And I was watching it this week. I was like, this is exactly the same. He's going to end up in the Judgment Day eventually, but. It was a cool briefcase. I liked it. Purple.
Senior.
I knew it was going to be Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be purple just because Judgment Day's colour's purple.
Are they growing on you anymore? Because it's very top heavy Judgment Day this Monday Night Raw again. Last week they didn't do it as much. This week I thought they kind of leant back on it a little bit too much. It was a bit too much Judgment Day for me.
But I don't mind it.
And I don't mind it, but I'm just the faction thing still grates on me. I fucking hate it. Not hate it, but I just want to see more singles like storylines. The single storylines are just like just sprinkle that there, and then we'll get back to the factions and the bloodline, and It wasn't the stupidest thing I saw on Raw. Don't get me wrong.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. Holy fucking God, we will get to that. But yeah, then obviously Sami Zayn then come out and he challenged Damien to a match. He said no, and then Dominic, and JD was like, no, I'll take that match.
I'll take it. Sorry,
I'll take it for Jesus. So yeah, we got JD and Sami Zayn later on in a match. So yeah, it was all right. I don't know. I'm not bored of it. I'm not bored of them, but I'm not. I think they're trying to recreate the bloodline on Raw. I don't think it's quite working.
You know what's missing? Paul Heyman.
See, if they had a good mouthpiece, that would be good. If you had to choose someone to be their mouthpiece, it isn't Paul Heyman because he's with the bloodline.
Yeah, I know, but it's just I'm not talking about him just from the mouthpiece perspective. I'm talking about him creative perspective.
Promo, creative, yeah.
Creative. The promos are fine, but they're just generic and same old. But from a person, because obviously we know that only a select few people deal with Roman Reigns' stuff. Him, Roman, I think it was Michael Hayes, Triple H, and then maybe a producer of the match if they're having a match. So that's what the bloodline need, because they've got about 30 writers and God knows only back producers, and they've got so and someone else gets involved, and then the lady, then Sue from catering pops in and has her bit, and that's Monday Night Raw's creative, and it is SmackDown's creative to a degree until Sue from Creole, bloody hell, AEW. But
we were sitting right next to that when she pulled up. By the way, she was literally the next block along from us, and me and Rachel like, here comes Sue. It was brilliant.
But yeah, they need to have what Roman's got for it to be. Otherwise, it will peter out. It will get boring.
But do you remember when they tried that? They had Heyman and Bischoff. Remember, one book Raw, one book SmackDown. What did that last? What did that last? A month?
3 weeks.
When we meet Bischoff in a couple of weeks' time, I'd love to ask him.
A couple of weeks, isn't it? Jesus,
I think we're going 3 weeks Wednesday, mate.
Wicked. Yeah, I'm really happy about that. I'm excited.
Yeah. We're meeting Eric Bischoff in 3 weeks, mate. If we get the chance, I don't know how many questions we get. I'd like to say to him, ask him why he didn't think that worked out, because that lasted a month.
Less than a month.
What did Bischoff done Raw and Heyman done SmackDown, right?
Yeah, I think something along those lines.
I'd love to know why that, because if you think about it, M2 Minds, you're like, wow, this should just be perfect.
Yeah.
And you throw Triple H into the mix, you throw Shawn Michaels, you see all these people that are NXT and backstage. And
speaking of NXT, quickly, did you notice that Braun Breaker's going to India?
Oh, I haven't. Yeah, I need to look in. I don't want to look in more of this India show. It's not like we're going to have to.
He's on Friday, though. You are right. He's on.
So when's SmackDown?
Friday. They've already announced segments for it.
So it's got to be. It's recorded then.
No, it's live. I don't know.
So half the roster in India, half the roster, because Cena's on SmackDown this week.
No, Cena's on.
Cena's in India, sorry.
This week, yeah.
Oh, God, SmackDown's going to be bad.
You're lucky you're not reviewing that shit.
Oh, well done, Dave.
Me and Dave.
Yeah, I chose a good weekend to be in America. Oh, my God. So, yeah, it's definitely Friday then.
Yeah.
Oh, but they're calling this like India, like the super show, all the talent's going to be there. I'm sure on the poster that half the roster's there.
Well, then SmackDown is really going to be bad then, isn't it? They'll probably bring half Raw over to SmackDown.
I feel like when the old Ash Cloud happened and they had to put all that was a good show when they had to put all the NXT guys on there.
I'll just do that.
Yeah. Talking of shows, let's get back to Raw. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark had a little backstage skit, and then if they wanted to finish it off, you could meet Shayna in the ring. Obviously, Zoe Stark moving on from the whole Trish Stratus thing. Looks like Trish is going to be gone for a while. I don't think she's done. I think she's going to be. I think she'll be gone till. I reckon we might not see her till next year now. I don't know.
Probably.
Maybe Survivor Series.
She's earned her stripes anyway. So
she's dead. I think she'll have one more. I think she'll bow out at WrestleMania, and how she does that is entirely up to her. But yeah, Shayna and Zoe Stark. Obviously, Shayna getting the win by choking out Zoe Stark. It's an okay match, actually. It wasn't too. It was very quick. Shayna was. The thing is, she was portrayed as, they had the whole horsewomen and stuff when she come in with Ronda. They completely had to do a 180 now with Shayna, because I don't think it quite have panned out the way that they originally wanted it to go with Ronda and Charlotte and Becky and all that. I don't think it's kind of gone the way they wanted it to go. What did you make of Shayna and Zoe Stark? It was an all right little match again, but again, I don't know. I just think they're getting lost in the shuffle. I don't think they know what to do with them now.
It looks like they're going to team them up, innit? You look at the end when they done the little fist bump.
Could do.
And who was the face and who was the heel? I couldn't work it out because no one really. They didn't really. They got the old crickets reaction, so to speak.
Yeah, no one really. Let's be honest, no one. Really.
I like Zoe Stark. I really think there's something
Good
there.
talent.
Yeah, and Shayna's not a slouch. I mean, she's. I mean, if you remember, I mean, Dave keeps banging on about when Dave was coming on to do these shows. Like he was always saying, we want to see the Shayna from NXT.
And you'll never get that one. You'll never get that. No,
but the match was fine. Yeah, fine. But it looks like they're going to team them up by the looks of things. But
I was reading something today that she might be part of a UFC crossover storyline when that whole merger thing kicks off. I knew you'd be pleased about that. I nearly screenshotted you, but I was on the road and I quickly scrolled through Twitter. I was pulled over at some lights or something. And I was like, Shayna, I was like, yeah, apparently that's the way they might. From what I was reading today, they might be heading that way towards the Rumble and Mania. There's going to be some. Conor McGregor is 100% going to be at WrestleMania, by the way.
Fucking hell. Oh, mouth.
Chewed him right up.
Oh, he's mouth's 3 seconds ahead of his brain.
Yeah, apparently Conor McGregor is odds on for the to be. No, hey, they always have the one. I don't know if he's going to do something with Logan Paul. Jake Paul might be apparently rumored to get involved as well. I think that's where they're going for Mania. From what I was reading today and putting 2 and 2 together and getting 50, I think that the whole UFC and from everything that people were saying, I'm going to throw it out there now that Conor McGregor somehow is on the WrestleMania card.
Well, that'll be the night I won't be watching. It's probably going to be the fucking host now, any of both nights. Yeah.
It'll be something like that. He's going to be involved.
He won't be able to talk, though, because he's like a bit like me. Near enough every word that comes out of my mouth is an F or a B, and they ain't going to be able to have that.
No, they're not going to be able to have that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with Shayna and Zoe. Next to it, but they went back-to-back women, mate. Raquel Rodriguez and Chelsea Green in an absolute squash city match. Raquel Rodriguez winning in about 20 seconds. Chelsea Green, obviously, our tag team partner, is now injured. Yep, she's injured.
Oh, the curse. Yeah,
the curse is struck. Why? Not that they should end the Raw women's tag team titles, but try and make them relevant and not have this Chelsea Green, or just for fucking shits and giggles, bring in Matt Cardona, because it'd be fucking brilliant. And it would give some, I don't know how they'd do it, because he said, like, give me the creative, give me the cash, you'd do it.
Well, no, he did say a third C that we're not saying on this show.
No, we can't say that.
Nor did he, to be fair, when he was talking.
We knew what he meant. But
and we know who he meant. So why don't they bring in Matt Cardona and the third C? And the third C can be the tag team partner of Chelsea Green. That being Steph Delander, of course.
Yes, that'd be interesting, mate. The Raw tag team women's. I'm just like,
well, the tag team does both shows, aren't they? There's actually all 3 shows. They're not even, because there's no NXT tag team champions either.
No, because they combined it, didn't they? They unified it on I don't know, mate. It's okay. Let's get to the next segment. This was when you watch wrestling, and we all know it's ramped up to it's entertainment ramped up to 1,000. Some people love this, some people hate it. So let's see where you are before I give my opinion, because I can see what I wrote in my notes. The Miz was out in the ring next ads, and he called out John Cena, and John Cena was there, but we couldn't see him.
Yeah, even the cameraman stewed on the whole thing.
I thought he was diving under the rope at one point. I was thinking, Jesus Christ, Stu's going to dive under the rope.
I thought it was Cena.
Yeah. What did you make of it? Was this just... Are people reading too much into it? It was just meant to be a light-hearted... And, he kind of got to the point by the end of the promo, but it went on.
Here's the thing. And this is... And I don't like bringing up AEW, but when we sit here and we talk AEW and we talk about the Adam Cole MJF stuff, the stupid, silly stuff that we found funny. What was the first thing I always say if that was on WWE, they would shit on it. And everyone's shitting on this. I just found it hilarious. I just thought it was so funny. It was It was so funny. It was stupid. But I can't hate on that. And at the same time, like a segment where 2 guys are kicking blow up kangaroo dolls.
Oh God, I love wrestling.
But that's what I mean. I have to like it, but I just found it so funny. It was silly.
It was just a long way of him getting to challenging LA Knight again.
It was, yeah. And again, we talked the draft, and LA Knight's not even on the same show as
Yeah,
the
so I'm
Miz.
guessing that's fast lane. I'm guessing the rematch is
I thought it
going
was
to
next week.
happen.
Is it?
Is it next week? I didn't even see that bit. Did I miss it? Oh, I don't know.
Right.
Oh, yeah, it might even be next week on Raw because I'm guessing Cena and the Miz are going to have. I said this last week. I think Cena and the Miz will have a little feud, reigniting the old WrestleMania rematch, shall we
And
say,
the
from
one
back
with
in the
him
day.
and his Cena's ex-missus and
Yes,
Miz and Maryse.
yeah, he's had quite a few ex-misses actually in wrestling. Yeah, I don't know. It was all right. I was watching it and I was thinking people are going to cry. What I did, because obviously I was watching it today, so I got to that part and I just scrolled through a little bit. I went on the hit the turnbuckle Twitter, scrolled through like last night's Raw, and just wanted to read some of the comments. Oh my god, people take it way. It's wrestling. This is what to be fair, this is what wrestling is. It's it's entertainment. It's funny. Don't take it too serious. Don't expect it to be like Slammier worthy, WrestleMania main event worthy. It's a segment on Raw that was genuinely funny.
Yeah.
I was sitting there just going, this is why we all watch wrestling. Because if no one had ever watched wrestling, you had to explain that segment to them. They were like, "Where's John Cena?" Well, you can't see him, but why not? Like you can't see him. Yeah, so, yeah, but you know what I mean. That was wrestling.
Just a couple of notes, right? And this is segueing away from the Miz quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Carlito's been signed for 2 months.
Never seen him. Yeah,
can't find anything for him. From we know, the Authors of Pain have been signed since last year.
Can't find anything for him.
Can't find anything for
him. NXT.
Well, why haven't they already done it?
Yeah, you do have to question why. Obviously, Carly. The big thing about Carly, obviously, he come back in Puerto Rico for the pay-per-view, and it was like,
shredded.
Back game. Yeah, look well jacked. And then it was reported a few days later that he'd signed. Yeah, and that was what?
Cancelled bookings. It was 2 months ago.
2 months ago since that pay-per-view in Puerto Rico.
And
he's been reportedly, I think, was it you or someone in our WhatsApp chat said, "Oh, he's backstage this week." I think it was a SmackDown, wasn't it? I think me and you were talking about
SmackDown in New York City.
Yeah, I think we were getting ready to review it on the Saturday, and you're like, "Oh, Carlito's backstage tonight." I'll be like, "Oh, that'd be cool. We'll talk about it tomorrow, how he's going to come out," and we didn't see him, and we haven't seen him. I don't know why WWE are signing these dudes and paying them, obviously, and he's not even on house, from what I'm aware, not even on house shows.
Nothing.
Officer Payne on house shows, nothing.
Nope. Do you know where it'll be a good time? We're talking about half the roster being away this week on SmackDown.
Could be this
week. What an ideal time. Put the Grayson Waller effect up, and then he might be over there, but and then have Carlito interrupt it, saying, "I would rather Carlito's Cabana." Remember that talk?
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. Weird.
Well, having said that, apparently Paul Ellering's been spotted in Florida ahead of NXT.
This isn't like Randy Orton getting spotted in London for Money in the Bank.
He was spotted everywhere, wasn't he?
He was like, "Where's Wally?" during that day. Like, where's Waldo for our American listeners?
Where's Waldo? Where's Orton?
Yeah, where's Orton?
Everywhere but London.
Yeah, it was. This. I think I saw a tweet from who was it today? Someone said about the way the wrestling Twitter and the way the wrestling rumor mill works now is like compared to back in the day when it was just purely dirt sheets. Now you could put out a tweet this afternoon saying Stone Cold Steve Austin seen backstage at Raw, and someone would bite and they'd retweet it, and then someone else would retweet it, and then about 2 hours, some dirt sheet would get hold of it and go, "Oh, Stone Cold Steve Austin's backstage at Raw. How did you find that out?" Oh, Adam from Hitting the Turnbuckle was bored and he just thought he'd have a laugh and tweet it out. That's unfortunately now how people like Dave Meltzer make a career.
How the hell he's made a career, and how people stupid enough to go and see his show in London the day we were in. Sold out, for fuck's sake. Him and that other Virgin.
What's his name? Never been.
Yeah.
Virgin 1 and Virgin 2.
And those are the two others that put off that shit about Punk.
Yeah.
And they don't like him for it.
And Dave Meltzer's meant to be on the payroll at AEW.
He's not on the payroll, but he's definitely massaging TK's what's.
Yeah, there's a few people out there.
There's a few people out there who do that, and then decide they want to close down their channel and don't. Anyway, move on.
Okay, let's move on. Adam Pearce was backstage saying, this is when he mentioned what you said earlier about someone that we've got to give up a how the fuck did this
trade compensation?
It suddenly turned into the NFL. We've got to give up a pick. I was thinking, fucking hell, I'm watching Monday Night Football or something, not Monday Night Raw.
Well, it starts next week, right? Or this week, doesn't it?
So the first game is, we're sitting here recording this Wednesday. The Kansas City Chiefs play. The NFL season starts tomorrow night, Thursday night. I fly Friday. We play Sunday.
So this is where wrestling takes a big hit across the board.
Huge. Absolutely. You think about it now, it's already started last weekend. You've got college football on the Saturday.
Yeah.
you've got the NFL on the Sunday, and you've got Monday Night Football now. So whatever the
Don't you
game
have-
is next,
Do I have Friday night? Sorry.
it's mainly Thursday Night Football. And then they'll have obviously college on a Saturday, the main game's on a Sunday, and then they'll have one game every Monday now up until the season finishes. So Raw will take a hit. Collision will take a big hit because of the college. Mate, I can't explain to you how big college football is in America.
Collision can't even get over 300,000 views as it is in a minute.
Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, I think Bischoff tweeted out, didn't he, saying this is not because of Punk. This is just because what it was. I mean, you watched Collision last week. I watched it, and I was popping the main event. I struggled.
Apart from Dax and Jay White.
Dax and Jay White was incredible. But the rest of it, I think you could tell that everyone was they've reshuffled everything because, yeah, let's be honest, it was revolving around CM Punk. And obviously they put Jay White at front and center of all their graphics now and everything. And, they're going to have to change a hell of a lot. But in the coming weeks, Raw is going to suffer. That's probably why they advertised Cody Rhodes coming up on Raw. He's hopefully going to be there in a couple of weeks. Fridays don't really matter. There's not much football in the NBA's back soon. But it'd be interesting to see how Raw does. It usually does okay against the Monday Night Football. Depends who's playing. But yeah, the Saturday for Collision is going to be college football, mate. It's going to be the one. But yeah, Adam Pearce announced backstage that they're going to have to do a comp pick. We're assuming, like we said at the start of the show, that's Cody Rhodes, I'm guessing. Well, put him aside. We've done this twice now. Let's move Cody out of the way. Who could potentially be going to SmackDown if it ain't him?
Well,
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah,
have the little feud and turn. If he turns heel, put him as a heel on SmackDown. Could put him up against Roman, like a little segue to progress another storyline along.
You could argue that the person that entered the locker room straight after this, it would be disappointing. It was Ciampa, wasn't it? That when they wanted,
he said he wanted a chat.
Yeah, Pierce said, "Let's continue." I don't think it is, but it's probably more about Gargano.
Yeah, he's still riding in a broom cupboard, isn't he?
He still can't get out.
Still sitting there. Still can't get out. Okay, maybe he's with Carlito.
He's with Carlito and he offers a better.
Yeah, maybe they're just sitting there having a little meal or something every week, just sitting.
That's a huge broom cupboard, though, isn't it? I mean, the authors are paying about the size of a broom cupboard.
That is a big broom cupboard. Philip Scoper would love that broom cupboard.
Fuck me.
Well, you've done one for the show. I thought I might as well. We're both chucking ourselves off the bridge today. Let's do it properly. So we don't know. We're guessing it's Cody. Cody's on. He's on Raw next week. Raw next week's gonna be interesting.
He's back
Monday night. I'll be able to watch it in the States. Yeah.
Well, you better watch it at a reasonable time.
Yeah. Well, 9 o'clock at night. Yeah. My flight is until like 11:30, 12. So yeah, we're about to watch it. We don't have the main event. We're not the one before the main event. We had JD versus Sammy. Kind of knew where this was going. Yeah, it was one of the worst roll-ups in the history of roll-ups as well for JD to get the win. Dirty Dom interfering. I didn't like this match at all, mate. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't think it made anyone look good. The roll-up was horrendously bad. And this is where I put in my notes. This is the same storyline as the Bloodline because JD got him back in the ring. He sent Dirty Dom, go, leave, I'll do it. Sami Zayn gives him a Hallouma kick in the corner, and I was just like, nope, not for me, mate. I didn't enjoy it. I thought it was shit.
Yeah, think of new material. I think
I just think there could have been. I get what they may be trying to. If you think of all the look at the names you always mention to me every week when you tell Andy, watch NXT this week, so and so, or you watch JD McDonough in the Judgment Day. About all the people, Bron Breakker, put him in there.
I think it's weird because I think if you look at, I say this because apart from Dirty Dom, the fucking Dominic Mysterio, the rest of them look gothic, don't they? If you look at it, apart from
JD looks like he just should be peeling potatoes.
But he's Irish and Finn's Irish, so you got that connection. It's the only connection I'm going to give you. But if you look at the gothic side of it, he looks more gothic than say a Braun Breaker.
Yeah, maybe Braun Breaker was wrong. He ain't going to fit in, but surely JD McDonough, mate. This is I
don't know. It depends. I'm a bit on the fence with this, Bob. I want to see how it pans out. I like JD McDonough. The role side, he's a good talent, and he worked with Finn. They done NXT UK, I think, a little while ago, a couple of years ago, and he was against Finn.
They did. I remember seeing that.
It was great. Yeah. So I'll give it time. Give it time. I'm on the fence of it. I see where you're coming from. I'd like to see what happens with him first, and then I'll make a judgment on the Judgment Day.
Michael McIntyre's turned up.
Boom, boom.
Let's get to the main event.
Let's do it.
This is the trilogy. Gunter now becomes the longest reigning intercontinental champion. Beat Chad Gable in an absolute barnstormer. Loved the match. The only thing I didn't really like was poor old Chad Gable's daughter was sitting ringside crying her eyes out, bless her, and the camera kept panning to her. The match, though, again, it just highlighted what we've been saying for months and months and weeks and weeks. Chad Gable is that damn fucking good.
Yes.
I hope now this little trilogy thing's done, they don't push him back to the whole shoes, please. I like it, but put him in something that's meaningful. He could be the one that goes to SmackDown. Get the US title.
Yeah,
get the US title off Ray.
Split up Alpha Academy.
Split out Alpha Academy, and what's his name will be fucked.
Otis.
Yeah. Remember when they gave him money? Remember when he won Money in the Bank?
That was during COVID, wasn't it?
Imagine if he ever cashed that in and won, and he was world heavyweight champ. I always think about that late at night when I'm laying there pondering my life.
Think about Otis.
Yeah. I've got warp mind at 2 a.m.
But you said Maxine. I mean, you might have been all right, but Otis.
Yeah, I need to evaluate my life. Gunther, mate, where's he go now? He beats Chad Gable in a hell of a match. Great match. They've done the trilogy quick. They've got the 3 weeks in Raw. They not rushed, but I'd like to have maybe seen a pay-per-view match.
That's what I still think they're going with that. I still think they've got
one more.
Iron Man, though. Come on, they've got to, man. Iron Man.
One more, man.
Give them it. 30 minutes. 30, half an Iron Man. 30 minutes.
We're talking about Philip Schofield again.
Yeah. I'm just looking at how long we've got left before we're off. Yeah.
YouTube have now cancelled our show.
Fastlane? Yeah, Fastlane, 30-minute Iron Man. Even if Gunter wins again, it doesn't matter. But
they're both scheduled for India.
Are they? Well, Gunter's joining the little compadres, isn't he? He's there, but it's Cena.
Here's one for you.
Go on.
Kind of, Gunter kind of give him the nod at the end. Old Chad Gable, like the bit of respect. You noticed that?
Yeah.
Chad Gable joins Imperium.
Well, they get rid of one of them because there was Vinci was the one, wasn't it?
Because did you notice when he got out of the ring, old Gunter give him a little nod,
the nod of respect.
Chad Gable joins Imperium.
Interesting. It could work. It could very well work. If you look at Imperium, and every single wrestler of Imperium is a great wrestler. Even Vinci's a great wrestler. You just don't really see enough of it. Kaiser's a perfectionist in that ring.
You could have Imperium versus the Academy, and Chad turns on them.
Ooh, interesting. I said it was Agent Parker on AEW when he was doing these sort of things. Agent Burroughs is now coming out and playing
WWE version. But I don't know. Just thinking out loud, mate. I don't know. But that was Monday Night Raw in a nutshell, mate. We always give it a little grading. We gave Payback pushing up towards a 9. This Monday Night Raw, I'm going to give it a solid 7.5.
I'm going to just a bit low. I'm going to say 7. There was just a couple of little bits, but it was good. Didn't pull up any trees, but it was what. Listen, I didn't rewind anything, so that's always a good sign.
No,
when you don't rewind it.
Yeah, no, I didn't fast forward.
Rewind it.
I didn't.
Fuck me, fast forward it. Here we go. Yeah, fast forward it.
It's his meds. It's 9 o'clock. He hasn't take your meds.
Oh, I've got to take one. Actually, there's one I've got to take.
Now, where's Rachel when you need her?
She's drying her hair.
Oh, Jesus.
I can't say that.
Yeah, you've tried to do yours. But so Raw next week. We didn't get much of a tease for next week moving forward. We got Cody. We got Cody's on Raw, and I didn't something come up in the bottom as it was going off there with Drew McIntyre and the right. I saw some. I don't know. I think something's coming up with them next week. But they didn't really tease much. I think we're going to see more. I think Jey
women's title rematch.
Ah, there you go.
So it wasn't Drew. It was Rhea and Raquel.
They look the same.
And Dominic is back. Fucking hell. Yeah, that is it. We're finished. Dominic's banned from ringside.
Oh, okay.
So JD McDonough will come out.
JD McDonough's going to come out.
It's already. We might as well not worry about it.
Should we just reward Nick? I'm not here, but we can do it now if you want. Jay turns on Cody. Cody has the blah blah blah.
And Jay could be the one for Gunter anyway. The next one potentially.
Everyone's saying that. I saw that on. A lot of people were up in arms. A lot of people up in arms about that, weren't they? I saw on WWE Twitter. And Facebook, I was like, I hope Jey Uso isn't the one to end Gunter's reign.
I don't want to end it. I'm just, well, to be fair, if he does go, he probably will.
Not on a Raw, though. Be on a.
No, Gunter ain't going to drop the Intercontinental title on a Raw. Bloody hell.
Or Fastlane.
Well, to be fair, with American football starting, maybe he will.
He could be the one. Goes to SmackDown. Gunter on SmackDown.
He would just come from SmackDown.
Yeah, this, mate. Is this your first day on the job?
What are they going to do then? Because then they'll have no mid-card title.
Austin, I don't know.
They can't do a trade compensation for a trade compensation.
This is the WWE, mate.
WWE,
it could be like it could be like the NFL draft night. It goes on for 3 days. The NFL draft it could be like that, mate.
Stick to it.
True. It was a solid show, mate. I enjoyed it. We are going to be back later this week. Me and Adam sit here recording this on a Tuesday evening. We've still got our Dynamite review to do. I don't know how SmackDown is going to work. I don't even know when SmackDown is. I'm not sure.
It's Friday.
We can talk about the India show. We'll have to kind of segue.
Me and Dave will be doing that.
Dave is coming on to talk some WWE.
The problem child returns.
I can't believe it.
Hey, listen. Let's hope he can get the last few weeks. He's butchered the ending of the. He does the Kenny Omega finish, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, I've seen on YouTube.
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
Providing his missus isn't giving birth.
That would get the ratings up on YouTube.
Oh my God, that'd be cool. It was Mars Dave week of video.
I'm just finishing love. Wait, I'm reviewing SmackDown.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, we've got to review Collision.
That poor baby will soon go back in the womb if it comes out and Collision's on. But
I'm going back in.
I'm going back in for another month. Make sure you check us out on social media at HTT Buckle on Twitter. Thanks for everyone. It's the YouTube channel is really, really flying. Thanks to everyone that watches our videos, comments, like, subscribe, do all that good jazz. But yeah, we'll be back later in this week with our AEW stuff. Adam and Dave will be back with the SmackDown review. I am now heading off to the United States of America to meet up with Parker.
And to watch your team get battered.
We're not going to lose. If we lose to the Arizona Cardinals, I will do the next show butt naked.
No.
Now you want us to win, don't you? See, now you want us to win, don't you? But ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning into the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. I've been your host, Andy Burrows, with my good friend and tag team partner, Mr. Adam Cousin. Till next time, everybody, buckle down.